Hello and welcome to our channel, How We Move the Decimal. And in this video, it's a continuation of our listing marathon. So I have a large death pile of stuff in my basement or money pile or whatever you want to call it. And I took a weekend, my husband and I took a weekend, and we took 2 days out of a 3-day weekend and listed as much as we could. And we maybe got a quarter to a third of it. Our goal is to get as much done as we possibly can before summer starts, because summer is our busy season. However, now, and I'm recording this at the end of March, our busy season starts this week, essentially. Games for our children, sport activities, band activities, all of that starts this week. So we're hitting busy season pretty hard right now, which is a little earlier than we normally do. We normally hit busy season around the end of April or after Easter. And this year we're hitting it at the end of March. What we do when we list is I cluster list. So I will do all the photography at once, and then I will save it in files on my computer based on what bin that it is stored in, and then I will go through that bin and list it. I usually list it 10 at a time. 10 seems to be my sweet spot, where it's not too much for me to list, but it's enough to make a difference on the eBay algorithm. I don't believe in algorithms as much, or I know that they exist, but I also understand that I'm not a genius at this, and I could spend this whole time working on an algorithm and not get very far. So I try not to focus as much on the algorithm as just what works for me. So listing 10 at a time works for me. Ideally, I would list 10 items a day. There's no way that happens. I may list 10 items a week. I could schedule them out and do a couple items a day so I can have some consistency, but scheduling out does cost you on the listings, and my margins aren't really great enough for me to schedule out. And you're like, well, isn't it pretty easy just to get on eBay a couple times a day or a couple times a week and make those listings active? Yes and no. I'm very hesitant to trust leaving them in drafts on eBay because I've lost large quantities of drafts before. I'm okay with leaving photos in drafts just because I can easily upload this again if they disappear. But when I make an entire listing and type it all out, and then to lose it all because the drafts disappeared, I'm not comfortable with that, especially with the amount of time it takes. Now, in this photo session, my husband and I are both photographing. I'm doing it my way, he's doing it his way. He tends to do mostly hard goods because that's fun for him, and quite frankly, I detest hard goods. I hate listing them. He likes to list them. He likes to look them up. I will do clothes all day. I have a rhythm in clothes. I know what I'm doing with clothes. So what he does is he takes photos on his phone in the eBay app, and he goes ahead and lists them right away. So as he's doing the photos, he's listing. And this is why you see him taking longer between photos of items, and why I'm blowing through items doing photos. I'm looking up on eBay if something's worth something. I'm donating things. I'm looking for flaws. So I'm moving a little faster, where he is mainly just listing. So he is actually beginning to end, where this is just my beginning. So there's usually 3 more steps involved. So with me, it's taking all the photographs, uploading the photographs to my computer, and then going through the photographs, writing out the listings in a Word document, and then listing the item. So that's multiple steps for me, where with him, it's just one and done. He does the one thing, and then he moves on to the next item. So while I may photograph 3 tubs of items, he may only go through 10 items. His 10 items are done. We don't have to worry about those anymore. And I'm perfectly okay with that. I've got no issue with it. I've got no issue with how we do it. And I'm more than willing to let him do all the hard goods, because I don't want to do the hard goods. Now, mainly the stuff that I'm photographing and the stuff that he's photographing is from an auction lot. We did a lot of online auctions right at the beginning of the pandemic, and this was one of the lots we got from it. I will say with the auctions we normally do that were online auctions, also funny, what's happening right now in the video is we're fighting over who's taking pictures of the coffee cups. And these were actually our coffee cups, but I don't like them because I kept losing the spoon in them, and I don't drink coffee. I just drink hot cocoa or hot tea, and both of those I use spoons in, and I didn't like the coffee cup because I kept losing the spoons in that, so I wanted to sell those, and before I got rid of them, I wanted to see if they're worth anything, and surprised they are. They're just from Kohl's when I bought them, but they're like a limited edition, like St. Nicholas Square thing where they do certain designs every year. So somebody wanted that design, so I was able to sell that. Well, they haven't sold yet, but since my husband listed them, they're actually up and listing. The lot I'm going through now is kind of sad. The husband of the family died, and he was the last surviving of the couple. And after he died, they had the auction for all of the belongings. And I guess his wife had died several years before him, and he had kept all of her crafting stuff. I did not win nearly any of the lots I bid on. I bid on a bunch. Like if I would have won all of these lots, I would have spent several $100s. But I did not win hardly any of the lots I bid on. I won mainly the scrap lots, which was weird. I won lots where it was $1 to $3, but like the really expensive lots I did not win, and the amount that they went for was really, really high. Like $300 for that. And when I talk about it, you'll understand why they went so high, and that is because they are quite expensive. There was a lot of quilt topper patterns that had never been opened, and they can sell between $50 to $200 depending on the pattern. So there was a lot of those, and they went really, really high, where the lots I got were toppers that the wife had started, and they really don't go for that much. And unfortunately, the way that they were stored, there was lots of yellowing. There was lots of rust involved, where previously we hadn't, like, they weren't in the best condition. Some can sell. These smelled bad too. Like, they smelled very mildewy. They were very yellowed. There was a lot of rust. And she had left the needles and stuff in him, and he had left it, like, the project, wherever she was on the project when she died is how he left it, complete with needles left in it and everything. So it wasn't great condition, unfortunately. And the auction house that we use, I'm not going to disparage them. They're we don't have a large amount of online auctions available in our area, but they only take one picture. And they just took one picture of the box with nothing really showing. They're not like an eBay listing, like, here's the damage, or these goods are damaged, or this has been used. Like, I think this listing was like quilt toppers. That was it. And it was just a tub full of quilt toppers. Also, side note, our online auction, even if they photograph them in a tub, you have to bring your own tub. Like, you don't get that tub. You don't bring that home with you. So they were photographed in a tub, and I had to bring like 3 or 4 tubs to bring everything home. This is just linen napkins, but they are embroidered. It's very hard to tell on the video, but they are embroidered on the edge, and that embroidery is what will make them sell more. So I'm marking, this is tub 77. I'm marking, I take a picture, and that way when I go through the pictures, I can split them into folders. So 77, 78, 79, so on. And that will help me when I'm labeling them on the eBay listing, because I know where they are. Unfortunately, when I'm going through and photographing these, I photographed them as a lot of 5, but I found out one was pretty damaged when I flipped it over. So I had to go back and photograph them as a lot of 4, which is not a big deal, but it's just a pain in the butt. And when I went through and I looked at all the pictures, I had to then delete the ones with 5 in them so I didn't accidentally write down 5, because it could be like 6 months before I get around to photographing these. But this is a lot. This is the first time I put my hands on items. This is the first time my husband puts his hands on items. So there was a lot that was donated out of this photographing marathon. So much donated. We donated 5 garbage bags full of items got donated from just this weekend's thing, which is sad. And I think I still filled 4 tubs worth of items in inventory. So 4 tubs of items and 5 garbage bags being filled with donations. Those 5 bags are not in my house anymore. Is it sad that they're not worth anything and I had items not worth anything sitting in my house? Yes. And I kick myself for that, because a lot of these items had been in my house for almost a year and they were just sitting there because I had no time to go through them. Or if I do go through something, a lot of times it will, by the time I get around to photographing it, to listing it, it may have been a brand that's lost its value. It's just not there anymore. I missed the LuLaRoe spike. I had a bunch of LuLaRoes that I found at the thrift store. I had photographed them. I had not got around to listing them. And then the downfall of the company came, and I had just started listing them when all the documentaries came out and everybody was shaming this company. And I just had to almost redonate all of them. They weren't making money. They were being shunned. And I missed it. I missed the spike. Other people have missed the spikes on like Christmas time spikes when it happens to toys. I will say right now, at the end of March to May is the time to get school supplies up. If you have like backpacks, if you have uniform clothes, khaki pants sell really well in June for me. Right now, last week, I just sold a bathing suit in March. So I sold a set of little baby bathing suits. I think the supply chain issue stuff is helping with my eBay sales, because I do, again, a lot of bread and butter, Kohl's brands, Farm and Fleet brands. I'm not doing anything major, like really nice stuff, but I am doing those type of things. So I sold a set of 2 little size 2T Carter's bikinis, like little 2-piece bathing suits for toddlers this past weekend, because I for myself, we are looking for our children's bathing suits for our upcoming vacations this summer, and the stores just are not getting the bathing suits in. So that's why I think those sold really well. People are getting desperate. They're going online. People are looking at maybe bathing suits that they had previously, and they're trying to find it in a size up. And that's very helpful. I've sold almost all of the baby clothes that I have listed, and I sell them fairly quickly. I sold another set of sleepers, so footed sleepers. Right now I'm taking pictures of vintage curtains still in package, and I can't find them anywhere on eBay, so I don't know what they'll sell for, but I do know vintage curtains sell. So like that as a general category sells really well, but I couldn't find these specific curtains on eBay anywhere. I couldn't find it when I used Terapeak on my computer, so I'm just going to kind of run with it. They're just long panels, long sheer panels. It's not something odd. I do not list some of the odd shaped ones. So thank you for watching our video, and I hope you join us again.